So George and Letty wake up in their rooms in the Abraham Lodge and seem to be in heaven with all the books and dresses they seem to ever want. But Tick seems a little worried, and we know why. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, or to the podcast if you're listening to it on whatever app you're listening to it on. We're talking about Lovecraft Country, Episode 2, Whitey'S on the Moon. On the Moon? Weird, interesting title. But before we get into my thoughts and the episode, go ahead and hit that like button if you're watching this on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that 5 stars if you're listening to the podcast version on any podcast app you're choosing listening to. It helps the channel. It's a great way to support Black Eat Cool. It really helps, though. It helps with the algorithm and all that good stuff. But let's get into this episode. Not gonna lie, this episode was kind of an information dump. We learned a lot of stuff in a short amount of time about some things in this world and about some things about the characters, which I'm still trying to keep all organized because there's a lot of information and I'm still new to this world. But we learned that there's a cult called the Sons of Adam who pretty much are wizards. Let's be honest, they're wizards. And Tick happens to be a descendant of Titus, one of the founders of Sons of Adam. It's really weird. But the Abraham Lodge now is run by Samuel, one of the new leaders of at least this lodge's cult. I forget what it's called. But he plans on using Tick to sacrifice to perform this immortality ritual that Titus's only bloodline can perform. So his plan is to sacrifice Tick, which is not a bad plan, but we'll see what happens. We know what happens. Oh, secondly, if you don't realize, this is going to be a spoiler for this episode. So if you haven't watched the episode, go watch it, then come back. Just so you know. We also meet Christina, Samuel's daughter, who is kind of helping Tick, sort of. It's kind of weird. She's trying to tell him, like, not all white people are bad, but Tick's like, all white people are bad. Which is not necessarily true. Let's not think that's true. But in the story, he feels it's 100% true. At his time and the decade they're in, to him it's 100% true. And there's nothing but proof to back that up. But we also find out that they took away George and Letty's memories of the night before. So that's why they are not really freaking out about the, terrible vampire dogs. I'm calling them vampire dogs because I don't know what they are. But they're terrible vampire dogs. But they still remember they're there to try to find Montrose, Tick's dad. So it only seems like the last 8 or 5 hours of their memories got taken away. That's how it seems. So that's a good thing. There's this thing that happens, which is really weird. I don't know if the code is trying to mess with these guys. So they trap them in their rooms using a spell while they get like the ritual prepared. They do this thing where they're making them face some kind of fears. So Tick's fear is he fought some woman he fought in the war, and he was going ham. He was beating her up and all this stuff, but she was getting him too. He was getting cut. He ended up winning. Letty's fear was, this is really weird because it's probably going to come back later in the series and why this happens, but they're love interests, so we kind of understand why this happens. Her and Tick start, making out. It's not really Tick, clearly, but they make it out, and then all of a sudden he goes to pull his pants down, and then a snake comes out and tries to bite her. That was really weird. Awesomely weird. What was George? George was dancing with his wife. No, it wasn't his wife. I think That it was I think that's Tick's mom, actually. Either it's Tick's mom or one of his old flames. But then he realized, look, you not really here. This is fake. But he's enjoying it for the moment. And then they all meet up outdoor once the spell breaks for them to get outside of their rooms. And they're like, yeah, what's going on? He's like, yeah, they're trying to divide and conquer us, so we just need to stay together. That's what George said. But then we get into the ritual, and then they end up. I forgot about this part. So they try to escape in. Is it Betsy? I think the car is called Betsy. But no, they try to escape in some in the silver car Christina drives. And they're driving through a tunnel, and they hit this wall, and there's like another spell stopping them from getting away. And that's when before that happens, I forgot, they found Tick's dad. He was in some lighthouse under it, and he dug out. It was very weird. But he was already like, look, I didn't send you no letter, you idiot. I wouldn't send you a letter to come get me. I was getting myself out. So he was like, I didn't know y'all was coming. I didn't need y'all to come. I can handle this. He clearly has some more information about this whole cult thing than we do. So I wonder if he's going to start sharing some of that, because he seems very tight-lipped. I don't know why he's being such a... He's kind of a dick. He's kind of a dick character, but that's his character, so we'll see more about him. But when they were trying to escape, they got caught. Samuel ended up shooting Letty. She died. She actually died, and then he shot George. He told Tick, hey, if you perform the ritual with me, I will bring back Letty, which he did. He brought Letty back to life right before the ritual. And he said he would bring back George too and make sure they're all safe and they can go. I just need you to perform the ritual. Not knowing that he's trying to sacrifice him. But he was like, fine, I'll do it. They did the ritual. There's this thing that happens where like Tick sees his mother. And his mother seems... And then all hell breaks loose where it's pretty much everybody's turned into dust. And Tick is running out the lodge, and the lodge is kind of imploding on itself, which is crazy. And everybody gets out. Letty gets out. George gets out. Montrose gets out. Tick gets out. That's my phone. Sorry, guys. But the only person, all the other lodge members die. And the lodge pretty much implodes in itself and destroys it. And then Tick finds George and Letty outside with Montrose, and George has still been shot. He's still bleeding out, and he ends up dying. So we lose George. It's very emotional, and that's the end of episode 2. I'm not gonna lie to you, I am loving this series right now. It's well acted, pretty well written. I'm all in for the mystery. It's not as much horror as I thought it was going to be, because I'm not a big horror fan, but it's not as much horror, which I like. I still don't know this book and where this stuff is leading to, but I'm super excited to keep watching it. So that's my quick review. Maybe not quick, but that's my review of episode 2, Whitey's on the Moon, for Lovecraft Country. As always, guys, appreciate you listening. Go ahead and hit the like button, share the video or share the audio. Let somebody know about the channel or the podcast. I greatly appreciate you guys listening, and I'll see you guys in the next one.